What up, YouTube? Where every argument ends with you just don't get it, bro. It's your boys, Detroit Love, P Dubs Arcade Love, Michael B. the Game GD, and Nostalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes with tonight's special guests, Glenn from Glenn's Retro Show and Thunderstick Studios, and Mike of all trades, Moat from Back Alley 7-Eleven. The new year just got live.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, it's Michael B, and you are here watching the very first episode of the Super Game Room Dudes in 2026. I, of course, am joined by my longtime co-host and close personal friend, Carl Detroit Love, and we also have two other people joining us tonight. We have one of the most requested guest hosts we've ever had on the show finally appearing. We had to pay the big money to get him to slum with us tonight, but it is Mike of all trades. Thank you so much for being here, brother.
Wait a minute, that caught me off. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know it was the most requested, but hold on.
Oh yeah, you've been very requested in the chat.
And all right, cool. There, it's official. It happened. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, and yeah, Yes, I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Mike, for joining us. And of course, in the other window, one of our least requested guests of all time. Just kidding, ladies and gentlemen, the man that somehow in a single screen environment has managed to figure out a way to put multiple screens in his screen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Glenn father, Glenn Planamento, GRS Studios. Glenn, it's always a weird thing to have you on the show because I never know if I should hit the promotion tab or whatever, because you're a YouTuber and you've been a YouTuber first and foremost for years, but you're also a company. So it's always that little bit of an awkward thing, but I'm having you here as a YouTuber tonight. So I decided not to hit the promotion tab. I also forgot, but we're just going to go with I'm having you here as a YouTuber.
Well, you know me, I don't ever like to tout my own stuff anywhere around. Thanks for having me, though. Happy New Year, first of all, to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Can you believe we're 26 years into the 21st century? What the hell happened? 26 years.
Wow.
Time is a cruel mistress, man. It goes by way too quickly. So a lot of you guys are probably wondering where Nostalgia and P-Dubs are tonight. Of course, as you know, Nostalgia's been taking a break for a while. He's got some personal stuff going on. He's been having so much fun on his open sea boat cruise where he says in international waters, everything's legal. Apparently, P-Dubs decided to join him as well. So both of those guys are currently on some kind of international water boat tour. For the next little while, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having other people come on the show, and we're going to be looking for your guys' input. So if there's someone you want to see join the Super Game Room Dudes in the next couple of weeks until one of Dubs or Nostalgia comes back, or both, let us know in the comments who you want to see on the show, and we'll try our best to get them. Okay, guys? But with that out of the way, Carl, do you want to take the mic, introduce people to our two guests, tell them a little bit about them, and set them up for tonight?
I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but these guys right here. Man, I love these two guys. When we started talking about who we're going to bring on, this was my immediate thought. It's like I've been looking forward to us four hanging out on the Super Game Room Dudes for a while. Whenever those guys are gone, man, we got to fill the void for sure. But it's always a pleasure to have you guys on, man. How was you guys' holidays, man?
Nope, most going to sit there. I'll say something. It was good.
Oh, I didn't.
It was good. I mean, it's the one time a year I take off I've been off 2 weeks. Today's the last day of my 2-week vacation, and it goes by like this year went by like that. Spent some time with the girlfriend, my son, the dog, bills, lots and lots of holiday bills. You know how that is.
Yeah. What about you, Mo? How'd the holiday go here for you?
It's been chilling. I mean, I've been chilling, hanging out. The IRL stuff, the grind has been strenuous, but worth it. But any day above ground is a good day. Just real fast. Hey, JT, the answer to that question is flats. It will always be flats. Drums are nice, but it'll be flat. Sorry, there was a chicken wing question. So yeah, but no, it was good, man. And it's a blessing, dude. So yeah, new year, new stuff, hopefully.
Absolutely.
So I got to ask you a quick question about that, Moat. So you're a flats man over drums. How do you eat your flats? Do you actually do the technique where you take the top and then slide the meat down so it turns out like a drum?
So there's two ways to do this. Gentlemen in the chat, I'm going to put you on game. So if you're out with a lady, whatever else, dude, and be respectful, split it in half.
Where this is going.
Split it in half and eat it. You know what I mean? But if it's just you and the fellas, push that gimmick down and lollipop. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Or you can do the old school try and like twist and peel method, twist the bone, pop it out, just eat the other one. I mean, it's just whatever gets the protein in your mouth, that's all that matters.
That's what she said. All right, I say
it. You have to. Yeah, my wife is the same way. She's a flats. She does not prefer the drums. It don't make a difference to me. I'm gonna eat it either way.
Pretty much.
But there's a few places they'll sell you just the flats, and she loves that idea for sure.
See,
just the flats.
I feel bad for the wings now, bro. I feel bad for the drumsticks. Like, bro, drummies aren't getting any love. No. You just want a whole side of flats.
I'll eat them. Shove them my way.
Right. What about you, Mikey? How'd the holiday go with the kitty?
Oh, with the kids, it was an interesting Christmas and New Year's time because we actually had a couple snowstorms, one on Christmas Day. So we were barricaded in our home. We normally are so busy Christmas Day. We wake up, the kids don't really have time to enjoy their presents because we got to rush off to my parents and then rush off to Lara's parents. This year it was totally different. We woke up, opened our gifts, had time to make breakfast, enjoy our gifts. The next day we went out after we got shoveled out, went out to my parents, had Christmas there. Then unfortunately everybody got influenza. So we ended up staying in home the rest of the holidays, but we had a great relaxing holidays at home. Probably the most stressful thing was trying to get to the new Taco Bell that opened that everybody in Newfoundland went nuts for with 2-hour wait times. Other than that,
there was no Taco Bell before this one?
We had one exactly 27 years ago, Glenn.
Wow.
We had a Taco Bell, but not a real Taco Bell because we had a movie theater open up here. Empire Theaters opened up a new movie theater in St. John's, and they had a Taco Bell kind of express at the movie theater where you could only order a couple tacos. There were none of the big menu items like Crunchwrap Supreme, chicken gorditas, any of that stuff, right? So this is the first time you can go and actually get everything. And
nice.
Newfoundlanders have tried Baja Blast for the first time, and everybody's really excited.
That's the stuff. That caused 30 kidney stones for me.
Well, the biggest thing, is it a real Taco Bell? Do they have the nacho fries?
Oh, they have the nacho fries. Yes, man. They have everything. Everything's on the menu.
The only thing I like from Taco Bell. Those fries are delicious.
That's the only thing, really?
Yeah, I'm not a big Taco Bell guy, but those nacho fries, they give me the drive over.
Well, no, Detroit, I'm going to tell you what you do is you buy the burrito today. You put it in your refrigerator half wrapped for a week. Then you eat it. That is heaven. That is heaven.
Or easy way to get food poisoning.
That makes you strong.
Glenn, I really hope the insurance company isn't listening, because I think we just figured out how Glenn's basement actually flooded after he destroyed his toilet with that.
Wow.
Wow. But my holiday went really smooth, man. I'm the same way as you, Glenn. This is my last weekday off for the holiday. I did have to go in for a half day on the 30th. But other than that, been off, man, enjoying the family. Been doing a whole lot of snow removal. We just been getting the dusty stuff, which is not too bad, but it just constantly kept coming over and over and over again. Drive me crazy. But I like my driveway to stay concrete. I don't want any snow on it. And mine it's like mine on the whole street is always clear. Everybody else is white. They drive over and walk over. Once you drive over it, it's not going anywhere.
Wait, Carl, you that guy that goes out there at like 6:37 in the morning with the shovel when there's like 0.1 inches of snow out there, and then scrape it. And,
well, I usually,
I respect that.
I just use I use my leaf blower, so it takes literally a few seconds. It keeps it away. If you let it go too long, then it's going to take a little bit longer. But the leaf blower, man, that thing is the beast. It just blows all the way. And today I use the blower, the actual snow blower in the street, just to clear where we park our cars at. But man, I got everything I needed this year, which is fantastic. I don't have anything that I don't need. You're right. They asked me what I want. I'm like, I need to get rid of these holy socks. I need some belts. I need some underwear, some tees, and that's what I got. And man, I got to clear out my drawer and put all new ones in. So that was fantastic, because I can buy anything else I want, I can buy, right?
Yeah.
And I neglect the stuff I actually need. So that was fantastic. So best Christmas ever, other than last year when we were in the Bahamas for Christmas. But yeah, it was fantastic. I've been sipping on some eggnog and some rum.
Carl, I hope your family's not listening to this right now, because now it's gonna be next year. Yo, what do we get him for Christmas? Just get him some socks and some t-shirts, baby. He don't need nothing major. You know what I mean? Like,
they know. You see my basement here? I'm like Glenn here. I got everything you can imagine in here. Anything I would want would be too expensive for them to combine their money. But it's the thought. I'm always about, give me something that I really need versus giving something that you think you have to give me. Just to
I think for the fathers, I mean, we want our families to have the stuff. We don't need anything. I mean, like Carl said, if we need something, we buy it. I mean, my son's got me. He bought me a Darth Vader Lego thing, that was it. That's fine. Tell him they didn't need a thing, because we don't. Right. Look behind me. Like Carl said, I don't need anything, but just their time.
Yep. Yeah, I told my wife the same thing, because we've always had a bad history of going above and beyond trying to buy each other gifts. And I'm like, we just bought a second vehicle. I'm like, we don't need to be extravagant. Like, I don't really need anything for Christmas at all. Like, so we had a very light Christmas for each other. And, it was all about the kids, man. That was Christmas. Like, I bought my son his first wrestlers, brought me back to when I was 4 years old, and I got my first set of WWF LJN Superstar wrestlers. He got a ring. He got a bunch of wrestlers. He was playing with them. I was like, oh, this is awesome. That's what Christmas is about. It's not about the stuff we get. Now, I still bought myself a bunch of stuff. Don't worry about that. But yeah,
for sure. I got my wife these, she don't like anything in her ears, and she have never had like headsets for her phone, and she bought these cheap, like 5 and below headsets, and those things were horrible. So I got these things called shot dots, open dots. They just clip right on your ear. They don't go in your ear. They don't go over your ear. They actually clip right here. She loves those things. She was like, man, finally, these things sound incredible. People can hear me on the phone. I can listen to my music or my shows. So she loves that. So she was very excited. And I also got her this. She works on her laptop a lot at the couch. And I got one of those like trays is actually a wheel, like mobile desk, and she loves that thing. So she was extremely happy with her gifts. The girls, they're in their mid-20s. Is not the same as Mike. Those are the magic years when they still think about Santa, you know what I mean, and all that. But we had a ball. Every Christmas Eve we do our karaoke, we do our game, like minute to win it type games. They had their boyfriends over, and everybody picked songs that they really enjoyed singing. So it was a lot of fun to see everybody just enjoying. They made cookies and decorated them, you know what I mean? And we just had a fantastic time. And I hate this all ending. I had to go back to work next week, but
you and me both, brother.
So I was off for the same as I think everybody else. Like we were off from I forget what the first date is, but we go back on the 5th. I had a couple things I had to do just because like, it is what it is. Like I had to do payroll once. I had to pay a couple bills, answer a couple questions. But our first day back is supposed to be Monday, but we're scheduled to have a winter storm with 50 to 60 centimeters of snow. So I think the kids will be off school again on Monday. So one more day of holidays.
I hope we don't get any of that, even if
Keep it up north. Although it is snowing in my basement, so we might as well.
Yeah, I do have one more Christmas story I did want to share. So you mentioned the headphones thing. My wife has started this new hobby this past year, where she listens to the sultry books online, like the audio books. She calls them fairy smut. So I always give her a hard time because she's got these junky headphones and she's always got them on. And it was like a point of contention with us because I'm like, can you take those off and be part of the family? And anyways, I went out for Christmas, and as a peace offering of being mean to her about her headphones, I bought her a pair of Beats new actual good headphones. And this was to tell her, I'm fine with you listening to your fairy smut. Love you, honey. So that was my big gift to her. Now they were on sale. They were at Walmart for, I think it was like 129 Canadian. So what was that, like $30 US? I don't know how the conversion was now.
Yeah.
Not as that much anymore. It might be more like $60 these days.
Yeah.
But Glenn, you were talking about how many years since the 2000. That reminds me, I have a Dreamcast now that I just set up back here.
Beautiful.
A brother came to town for our sister's birthday on the 23rd, and he was like, "Hey, I got this Dreamcast. You want me to bring it?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I've been wanting to get one and get back into it. So I set this thing up. It works absolutely well. It came with the Soul Calibur, which is aged well. You know what I mean, for the 20.
That was my first game I got with it.
Yeah, and I think that's when it came with this one. So I'm looking forward to it. I have to check the numbers and make sure I can, do the CD-ROM games and all that, and get the modding.
You want to see if you can play, you want to see if you can play Burn Disc.
Yeah,
You can do the Dreamcast.
If it has
you definitely can. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you definitely can. That was one of the things that killed the Dreamcast. It was cracked so quickly. But I would do the GD mod personally.
I was literally just about to say that. My Dreamcast has a GDMU in it, man. It's literally the whole library. You can put homebrew on there. So the Cowabunga collection, I have it on there for Dreamcast. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with it. But if you want to just try to see the disc, just check at the bottom of it and see if it has a 0 or 1. 0 or 1, it can play Burn Disc.
0 or 1, but I wasn't sure where.
Yeah, just one or the other.
Where I was looking for the 0 or 1, but I knew that was the case. But I will get to that. But yeah, that's gonna be a whole new adventure. And I'm looking forward.
So, Carl, you never had a Dreamcast before this one?
I never owned one. My best friend Sean had one when it first came out, because I was a PlayStation 1 guy and I had mine at the time. And he came out and we played hours on it. Loved that thing, but I never had it because me and him hung out so much. He already had one. Right. And then I think PlayStation 2 came out and Dreamcast was dead by that time. So I never did get one. So I'm glad to have it now.
So I think. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that's surprising because Dreamcast is literally just an arcade system. Yep. Literally, that's what it is. So I'm just kind of surprised you haven't.
And it still looks. The graphics still look good in 2026.
Yeah.
I think they work better than PS2 games for the most of it that I play it. But great system. Glad you got it now.
Yeah, for sure.
So we were all alive and pretty involved in gaming. Carl, like you didn't have one, but everybody else here had one. I got one opening day when the Dreamcast first came out. A lot of people are saying that piracy is what killed the Dreamcast. Yep. And really quickly, I want to ask you guys, is that 100% certain? Because I think there was also another contributing factor which killed the Dreamcast other than
there
piracy.
There were two things.
Yeah.
Two things.
Yeah.
The primary, three things, well, I would say.
The piracy came relatively quickly because they didn't. I forgot it was called something U-boot. I think it was called when it first came out. But What really killed it was not having a DVD drive from the get-go. So as soon as the PS2 came out, it was the cheapest DVD player plus a video game console you could buy in the world. That's what really did it in. They tried. It was a gig drive, so it did have more space. If the Dreamcast had a DVD player, I really think it would have went pound to pound, head to head with the PS2 much longer than it did.
Yeah. Not to mention also the Sega Saturn kind of set it up for failure.
Yeah.
You know, from like 95 when they decided to shadow drop it here in North America for like that price point, and then they pretty much just shot themselves. So they were already playing catch up, and by the time they'd finally actually got a good library and all these games, they were already behind. It was
the gamers were turned off. They did everything right with that Dreamcast. Games, the launch, everything, but people were definitely teed off from the Saturn time.
Because the Saturn had tons of problems, like obviously overpriced. It was also very, very hard to program for, if I'm not mistaken.
It was the grandfather of the Atari Jaguar, as far as trying to program the thing, because it was supposed to originally be, the Saturn was a 2D killer, and that's what it was. Once they heard that PlayStation was coming out that was 3D, they went back and said, we need to have this thing do 3D as well, and they just threw shit in there, and it became a mishmash, and that was not good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we can go about this stuff all night long, and I'm totally fine with that. But at some point, we should talk about some of these topics that we've got up, because that's what we put on the thumbnail. If I had my time back, I would have just said, we're just going to hang, because this is actually pretty fun. But we should talk about some of these topics. So, Carl, I'll let you choose first. I didn't send out topics. I just put them on the thumbnails. What do you want to cover first? You want to talk about the upcoming pre-orders that everybody's excited for, the money we spent in 2025 we're finally going to get to enjoy in 2026? Do you want to talk about the NBA Jam Countercade that was just listed, and talk about the fall in quality of Arcade 1-Up? Or do you want to talk about the Unico Nova Blast Raiden and their 2 new screens? What are you most interested in?
Well, let's talk about the pre-orders, because the Unico, that's not my gig at all. But let's talk about the pre-orders. Which companies are you talking about? You're talking about everybody? Toys is going to be. They've made the announcement. What's going on?
Well, Carly,
I don't know if you ever seen. You saw
put
my
out
video.
Yeah, you put out a video over Christmas of you in a hospital bed. I don't know what that was about.
It was just being fun. Let me pull that one up. I don't know if you have it. That's while you're talking, I'll bring that one up. It was just to provoke conversation. There's nothing wrong with talking about nothing about talking about the, because it's real. It's real. They need to talk. They need to put out some. I pre-ordered the New Wave. What's the guy in the box?
Zoltar.
Zoltar, yeah. And that took forever to come, but the whole way they sent you emails. They let you know, hey, we got a delay, such and such is going on, just remain calm. You know what I mean? They did that. But for some reason, with all of these everything since then, and I believe it's everything since then, they've been absolutely quiet. Nothing. You know what I mean? So, I love New Wave toys. I got this whole display behind me. My wife was just messing with me at lunch. I was asking her if I saw your Build-a-cade, Glenn, the Donkey Kong. We were talking about something. She goes, "Oh, that space downstairs that you play with your dolls at?" Absolutely.
Action figures.
Sir.
I said, call them whatever you want to call them. But yes, that is the spot we're talking about.
No, she can't call wherever she wants. He has to respect your name. They have to be called action figures. Sir.
So I did want to bring up this clip really quickly, because Carl has been spending a lot of time on YouTube playing with the dolls of the diorama. So every time he does, it reminds me of this. Oh, no, that's not what I want.
Windows 11? Yeah.
Yep. Gotta love Windows 11.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Is that a porn tab? What the hell?
Mike, we all know what's going on now.
What the hell is this thing? I've never.
That's what she said.
Hide this story. Jeez. I can't get rid of it. Holy God.
Wow. A little penicillin will take care of that, bud.
But how do I get rid of this shit?
You got to take the penicillin and wrap it.
No, I mean this window thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Try hitting the Windows key.
Or present another tab? Question
Did
mark?
you turn it off and on and off again?
There we go. Here we go. Ready? Now we're back being able to work this terrible.
I noticed he's kissing the helmet an awful lot.
Every single time I see Carl doing that video, it makes me think about that.
All right, let me share mine here real quick. Share window. Yeah, I was just having fun with the AI here. It's gonna start over. Okay. I didn't have any. Oh, did we do audio? I don't know if I did.
I had audio set up on mine too, but it said there was no audio coming through, so I don't know what's going on.
But anyway, we can narrate this. You know, I
see, you can take it with you. You did.
Yeah.
Carl, I want you to know that you are a contributing factor of graphic cards going up to $5,000 and me not being able to get RAM. I just want to put that out there.
And I like that. It's like I'm right at the funeral. It's like delivery for Carl Brooks. It's like, yeah, let him take it with him. He's waited 3 years for this.
Yeah,
I thought
for
it was
New
fun.
Wave toys, it's easy to understand why people are so upset. But like, you've also got to give them a little bit of a break, because I don't think anybody's had worse luck. Like, everybody's been put into the situation of tariffs has massively impacted, delivery times, changed how things are going to work. One good thing is New Wave Toys didn't, increase any of their prices, or they're honoring their pre-orders at the original prices. So that's a positive. But I mean, the LA wildfires set them back. And then, Shiloh had this injury, and everybody's like, how can one person going down affect the business? I don't think that people really understand how small some of these businesses actually are. Even Arcade One Up at times, they were like 9 employees. Like, that was it. Like, it's not necessarily these big machines, and especially when someone like Shiloh's goes down, it's gonna mess up everything. I get it, man. Having like 5-6 products out, like having that much money invested, and having a dark window, like, really, really sucks. So, I don't blame anybody for being upset at the pre-orders, but at the same time, like, I do feel bad for the situation.
Yeah, and I agree. And again, it's not like a Kickstarter, right?
No,
where you've paid your money, and if it doesn't come, you're just out of your money. You know what I mean? You can.
What are you trying to say, Carl?
You can.
What are you trying to say, Carl?
Well, no, that's the reality of a Kickstarter, right? You know what I mean? Most people get the products, but it's the risk there. You can ask for a refund if you want, but here, like I have to explain to people every time, to me, the money's already spent, and I spent the money for a good, because I want the product. You know what I mean? Same reason why I support Kickstarter programs, because I want the product, and it won't happen without that money being exchanged. And I don't have a problem waiting. I don't have a problem waiting, because I can't make it myself. If I can make it myself, I would I would make it, and I wouldn't be waiting, right? But because I don't have those skills, I have to wait. So I don't have a problem waiting. It's just the communication. So I just want them to communicate, to say something, and they said they will, and so I believe they will. So I don't have a problem with that. So
that was the biggest thing, Carl. You hit on it was the communication part, and it was just unfortunate that Shiloh was in a bad way from the car accident.
Mhm.
And like Michael B said, they're not a huge company, and other staff members really weren't the proper people to issue communiques. They had to wait for Shiloh to get better. And I did hear from Shiloh right before Christmas, and he's still trying to get back to the States. He's still dealing with his visa to get back over here. But the products will start. 2026 is going to be the year. So 2025 was like the COVID year for electronics again. It was just a bad year all around. But I think in 2026, that New Wave Toys, he in talking to Shiloh, was very adamant on making things right, coming back in full force as soon as he can get back home. He can get things back rolling again. But he's very adamant about better communication to the people who backed him and getting the products out.
Yeah, and Glenn, and you know it better than anybody else because you and Shiloh, you guys have a similar philosophy where it's not about the money. You know what I mean? It's about making these products that big kids like us enjoy having, right? To walk down that memory lane to be able to play these things. So, I mean, I wish for you and I wish for Shiloh that you guys would make these things more expensive, even though I don't want to spend that. I'm saying you guys should be in the business to make money, but you're not. And so I can't fault you for that. Yeah, and when I talk about Shiloh and them, they will not reproduce things. Now you're gonna make as many Star Trek things as anybody need, right? But Shiloh and them, they make these products and they do not reproduce them. They want that collector factor. To me, if it was me, I would make as many as possible.
Yeah.
But I get that collector element because I'm not a collector. I'm a consumer. I use everything I get. That collecting thing means nothing to me. But I know for like Glenn, you buy one to use and one to collect. So I know you guys are a
True.
different beast than I am. But from a business standpoint, it's a very strange model that's not as profitable. And that's what I mean. It's not as profitable as the business could be because of that dedication to these being collectibles.
Well, there's more to it than that. Mike, I'm sorry, real quick. I just want to add that we had a lot of issues stumbling to. We had product shortages, we had tariffs, now we have memory prices going up. So it's been for the retro community and home gaming as a whole. It's a bad. New companies are not going to make PlayStation on 56 and Xbox 13s. The memory is going to be too hard to get to make these new consoles. So that's the next thing we're dealing with. So when you have any company, whether it be a New Wave Toy size or a Microsoft or Sony size, the market right now is just dangerous for us collectors, gamers alike, because it's hard to get the product to build the items at a price point that people can afford.
Yeah, that RAM stuff really concerns me. Like, I have a couple products I'm really interested in getting in 2026, and one of them at the top of the list is that Steam machine. But like, is that going to be delayed now? Are they going to be able to release that? What's the price point going to be? Because of these increasing RAM prices, it's a nightmare. And right now, one of the big problems with the Steam machine is it's an actual computer. It's not just a gaming device, it's a computer. So Steam is concerned that people are going to buy their machines in bulk if they make the price too low to use as real desktop computers for businesses and shit. So it's a tough window. Really quickly, Carl, I just wanted to update you. New Wave Toys did finally send out a communication and gave a timeline for all the pre-orders. I don't know if you caught wind of that or not, but we do have details now about when these are coming out. I think the first one coming out is going to be the Golden Tee Replicade, followed up after that by Crystal Castles, and then the plan is to get all these out throughout the year, and there is a detailed list out there. I don't have it ready for the show, but that communication has gone out.
Awesome. Well, and again, when I did it, I've already talked to those guys at the end of last month, and they said, yeah, there's going to be coming out. I'm just playing around with AI. I'm just messing around, having fun. And again, I'm always in the mindset. I love New Wave Toy. You see a lot of videos have come out about them. And any conversation about your company is going to be good, whether it's something can seem negative or not. You want people talking about your business, and so I'm gonna keep talking about these guys because they make a fantastic product.
And now, inquiring minds want to know: did you pre-order the Timeout Ricky doll? With all the dolls you got there, do you have an attendant coming?
No, because
thank you.
My arcade has to be reflective of the one that was in my mind, and Ricky wasn't at my arcade.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. All right, so New Wave Toys is the first one coming up. Then we've got one a lot of people are pretty excited about. The GRS Build-a-cade FU, the ultimate multi-cade going into 2026, which the owner, I'm told, hopes changes the landscape of home arcade gaming. Glenn, I talked about it a little bit on my show Monday night, and I put you really in the same kind of category as Unico, because I think, you know, if people miss the early birds on the pre-orders, the prices are a little bit higher. But I think people need to change their minds about some of these products, because people could say, oh, well, that's $1,400 with the 26-inch screen. I would argue your product is so much better than like the recreation stuff people have been buying, that this is actually almost commercial grade at a more reasonable price point, same as I think the Unico Nova Blast is. Would you think that's fair?
Very fair, and that's kind of the goal. You know, all the stuff that I've ever done is try to ultimately give the best quality, highest quality at the lowest price point possible, which is why my basement is still not fixed. I got no sheetrock back there, if you can see. But I really want this thing to be something that when it hits the market, people get it, and they have it in their house. They'll be like, holy shit, how the hell did he do this for this amount of money? And I do want like the Buy Stuff store and Joel and everyone else kind of building things for it and enhancing it. I have plans still for other enhancement control decks and things for it. But I know we Mike and I talked a lot about my thing with Arcade 1-Up, and you know, it's 2026 now, so it's all cranes be forgot, right? You start off fresh. But my biggest issue always with them and any company is, why can't you sell a better product for the price point you're doing? That's been my biggest thing. I'm fighting for the consumer out there. If you want to spend $600 on something from them, that's fine, but you're not getting $600 worth of quality from the machine. Give better buttons, give better joysticks, better monitor. We know they've done it. They've done Star Wars, they've done Tron, they've done like the Outrun. Those cabinets were really nice cabinets. And that's my thing. When someone spends this kind of money or spends any money, I mean, you work, Mike, you finally got Taco Bell up there. But any one of you guys who spend your hard-earned money, you got families, you got kids, you have things you got to take care of, you got bills, you have insurance, gas, electricity. We still want to have your fun too. You should be able to buy it and have it without breaking your bank. And that's what I'm fighting for everyone. Get this what you want, get it at a good price, but it's got to last. It's got to be something that's going to work.
Let's hear from Moat. You had Tony to talk about either of these subjects here. What's your thought on these pre-orders?
So, as far as new wave toys goes, I put that in a category as I would with anything. I'm the firm believer if you pre-order something and it takes more than 12 months, give your customers an option to refund, and they probably do have that, whatever else, right?
They do.
But the other side of that is, well, how long as a consumer are you willing to wait for a product, you know? And it can be a thing where they just put out the pedestal for the TV and whatnot, you know, the plug-in. That could be a thing to where it's like, well, they lost money because they could not put other products. They had to put this out, make this sell, and then maybe finish them up some other stuff because they are such a small company. Who knows? As far as a Kickstarter goes, Glenn's Kickstarter, it was cool. You know, it's, again, like you said, it's unique. You know, it's one of those things with a motorized screen, and it's got a board. Wait, let me stop, because now it sounds like I work for Glenn. But what Glenn, I'm saying is
that's what Glenn was doing. That's why you heard the keyboard going.
Yeah, this isn't snow. This is controlling dust from the upside down. It's getting into you guys.
Glenn was sending Mo to Venmo, talk nicely, Mo.
But no, seriously though, like, you know, I believe in community funded projects, stuff that Glenn's doing, stuff that Joel's doing, you know, like that kind of stuff. You know, it's not coming from a big corporation. There's nothing against big corporations, because we all got stuff in our houses and whatever else from them. But someone who's smaller, they take more pride in their craftsmanship. You know what I mean? And I think that's the bigger difference. And it's not one of these things where it's like, yo, if something breaks from Basic Fun or now Arcade, whatever the hell you want to call them, right? You have to go through support, blah, 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 blah. If something's going wrong with your GRS FU, you can probably just email Glenn and maybe get a response within a couple hours. You know what I mean? Like Joel, you can message him on Discord. So I think it's just more of providing a service, like they're providing services for the community, you know, and I think that does a lot more than going and spending $600 on a Slimcade or whatever else, you know, because as stated eloquently before, by the time you put the amount of money you put into one of those, you could literally just have put the money into something that's better quality, more durable, something that you might actually be proud of to have in your house, instead of somebody coming over and looking like, bro, what kind of toy is that on the wall? And especially I see it myself. So so I think that's the major difference, man. pre-order should have a time limit. And if you feel like your pre-orders aren't going to come out, like at least offer the customer something, you know, even if it's like a rebate or something. Remember Nintendo messed up and they at least gave up $5 rebates, you know, like give something. That's not me being greedy. And Carl, real fast, I just want to touch on that comment that you made about wanting to spend more money for a product. Listen, I understand that you have that eye patch on, brother, and I respect it. However, we do not want a $50 price increase, you know what I mean, because you're feeling generous. I'm sorry.
So that actually will bring me to Iconic Arcade Mode. Excellent segue, because they have probably been outside of New Wave Toys one of the guiltiest, because you know they kept missing deadlines, 3 different deadlines within 2025. The product never came out. It looks like it's finally going to be coming out. Shipping in January, might get here anywhere between January and it sounds like March before people get it. But after the last delay, they offered that $150 discount. I thought that was a very smart move on their part. You know, for the people that actually hung on and held on to their pre-orders at that point, that was a nice knock back in your bank account. You went from paying $6.99 down to $5.50. I think in Canada it worked out to something like $230 back. So I thought that was a nice move for them. But at the same time, what do you feel about Iconic Arcade? How do you think they're moving forward? And, you know, do you feel confident about their product? Or do you think that, you know, this fits? It's a good transition from Arcade 1-Up to people wanting bigger things? Or, like you just said, you know, is this a time when you're looking at something, it's $700, probably going to be more expensive when they come out with more? Is this something that maybe people should start to consider? Do I want this, or do I want to go find the real thing?
Realistically speaking, if it would have came out when it was originally supposed to come out last June, I think it would have been a better pill to swallow. Now, again, tariffs, shipping, you know, parts and all that other stuff. And now John not being happy with the bezel and all this other stuff, like that stuff happens. You know what I mean? Iconic gave $150 back. That's cool. However, and this happens a lot of the time, people have money put away for it to pay for it, and then things happen, and now they might not have the money to cover the pre-order.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then by the time that happens, and I wish this thing would just go to market and be out of the way so there could be more further action taken forward. Now, them giving back $150 might not be that big of a deal with them because, you know, they're working with Lenovo. You know what I mean? Like, that's, for those who don't know, Iconic is part of Lenovo. So they're just like, it's a cost of business for them. For John, it's his first like foray by himself outside of a corporate umbrella. So I get that he wants to have things be perfect. However, having things be perfect, you are suffering at your name being slandered, being dragged through the mud, and then you have other people that are giving information that aren't official sources. And I think we're to that day and age where now, like, and yes, I know I am guilty of freaking reporting the Basic Fun thing. I understand all that, right? But you are giving information to individuals that isn't coming officially from Iconic Arcade, whether it's the information is real or not, and 9 out of 10 it is, but you're not communicating that right. And I think a lot of problems with these companies is that it's communication. Like if John literally were to come out and put a post and be like, okay, check it out. Realistically, it's going to be here end of March, beginning of April 2026. Okay, that gives people time, have their finances ready. This is the hard date, etc., because life happens. Anything can happen. Dude, your water heater could blow out, and then you have to put that money towards it or something. So it's piss poor communication. And again, there could be better stuff, and there could be better stuff that comes out on the horizon. You never know. Like people who put away that money for the Iconic could be like, oh well, I'm gonna just put away another $500-$600 and go pick up ABC or XYZ. You know, like that's kind of thing. They could go the route you went and just like, well, screw it. Let me try this new one. Let me try a real one. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways that this could go. And the longer I think that Iconic spins their wheels, the longer that more and more people are going to be turned off by it. That's just me.
Moat, I don't know if I'm just going to add a couple points to your permanent roster spot here right now, because that was perfect. Thank you very much, sir. That was 100% what I've been saying all along. I agree with you completely. The biggest problem with Iconic throughout this whole process, Their communication. It looks bad on the company when you haven't updated your website with any current information. You change the design, you haven't updated, you're not giving. I understand that you want to work with third-party partners that have YouTube shows, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's the product. Iconic Arcade, they have to be accountable. So 100% agree with that. I think that CES is coming up right around the corner and people are like, are Iconic going to be at CES? I don't think they should be. I think the focus right now should be on the product coming out. Don't do anything else till that's done. You get that product come out, then it's on to the next. I wouldn't do anything else right now. I wouldn't announce anything, wouldn't take any more money. Just get the first one dealt with and deal with your communication.
Yeah, and I agree. It's the Iconic of the companies we talked about so far. They have the toughest challenge, and the lack of communication makes that even tougher because they have not released anything to date, right? All the other companies we talked about, they have a reputation, they have a background that we can base on. Iconic is just vaporware at this point in time. You know what I mean?
Well,
there's not a product that does it. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist yet. Other than
I wouldn't call it vaporware, Carl. Remember, Iconic Arcade came out, and remember they cleared them here in the States and in Canada for like $199. So they do exist. They're already fighting like that.
I'm saying
battle.
This particular.
Oh no, yeah, product, no. This iteration, yeah, absolutely.
Right. This particular product has not existed from them.
Agreed.
So it has not existed yet. So you know what I mean. So the potential. So in people's minds, it cannot. It's a possibility that it won't exist because it hasn't existed, right? You haven't proven yourself with this product yet, and so they have that pill to swallow, and then they make it tougher on themselves by not communicating directly out of the horse's mouth,
right?
What's going on?
And the funny thing is, they could easily solve this problem. Literally, John or whoever could literally just record actual video and have somebody edit it and be like, "Hey, this is the machine. This is what you're going to see when you start it up. This is the UI. These are the official list of games that are coming with it." Like, you could do that stuff, and a lot of people's like complaints will probably be quelled.
Yeah, it's just the question about that is how they deliver that too, because they can't assume that they're going to give the information to Mike B or Moat or Detroit Love or anybody else and that everybody's going to see it. They have to do it through their own official channels. That's what companies need to focus more on. I don't think it
necessarily have to be that way, Mike, because the reality is if they came out through your channel, other people are going to hear about it and they're going to go to your channel and copy it and talk about it. You know what I mean? So it's still going to go out.
Right.
But the key is you should be communicating it. And again, even if you do that, you still should say, hey, go check out Mike's channel that we just gave him the prototype on, yada, yada, yada. I mean, it's always better if you're communicating directly to your consumer as opposed to, again, we all do reviews and people contact us and have us review things all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, it still has to be that connection between the two. You can't make it, if you make it appear as if these people are just talking without your backing, you know what I mean? The imagination is way more, it's going to go into the deep end than reality, right? So when you leave it to interpretation, people are going to interpret the worst as opposed to the best.
Right. So, which is why if you put it through an official source, you don't have to worry about that. You kill all that noise. It's literally, this is the word, this is what it is. It's coming from Media One Up, instead of having to be like, I heard it on Arcade Insiders and this was said. Then there's a video on Facebook and they show you see what I'm saying? Because
and that's why I said they should, again, if they're going to do that, they should, on their site, they should be saying, hey, we just released information to whoever.
Backing it up. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? So you're letting them be the creator because that's what they do, and you're not good at that per se, but you're still on your press release area or on your social medias, you're then funding them to that source to say, hey, go get the meat here.
Carl, genius, because that was the missing step from that, because John did a great video where he explained they're doing the $150 discount and they did show it on Arcade Insiders, but that was the point that was missing. Like, you don't need to recreate the wheel on your own website, but there should have been some official link back to that show or something like that. That would have been perfect. It would have given it all the validity it needed and tied up the whole piece wonderfully. So I agree with that. Now, Nate UT866 said, but they did communicate to email to pre-order holders. Iconic didn't. Spreetail did.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, that is coming from the official retailer, but not necessarily from Iconic. So that's where a lot of the communication weirdness is, right?
Yeah, it's like a bad game. It's like a bad game of telephone. You know, if an email goes out and they're like, okay, well, this is happening, and Billy ordered an Iconic, he's getting 150 back, but the general public doesn't know what's going on. Then that email gets passed on to Tom, and then Tom's like, oh, he's getting $150, and the date is this. And then by the time the information gets to a quote credible source, like or one of us that are covering it, it's so twisted and wound up. You're literally spending 85% of the time trying to figure out, okay, this is what it really is, and then cut out the other fluff. You know, literally, it could have literally been, here's this post, we're doing this. To find out more information, tune into ABC XY.
Exactly.
That is literally the easiest fix in the world. Literally.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely. Companies, listen to the wisdom of Detroit Love and Moat. They're telling you exactly what you should be doing. Last but not least, Wonderland Amusements, the first ever, I guess it's 3/4 scale. I think they're not calling it that. I think they're calling it like 80% to scale pinball machine with the tinier balls, tinier ramps, tinier stuff.
Tiny balls.
You know, tiny balls. Tiny balls aren't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes the balls are too big.
Dude, they're running that joke again with the Miz in WWE, bro. Let's not do the tiny balls, man.
I don't know
want
if
to
you
get my
saw,
tiny balls up that ramp on my ski ball, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw the post, Moat. You're a big wrestling guy. Matt Cardona is apparently back with WWE full time, according to Mike Hawkins.
I saw him coming out to fight Kit Wilson when I came in my office to do the show tonight. I just looked. I was like, good for him.
Is he Zack Ryder again, or is he Matt Cardona?
No, he's Matt Cardona. That's
I
why I was
love
like,
it.
that's why I was
Yeah.
like, good for him. Good for him. And it was in Buffalo, so that's cool.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. So Wonderland Amusements, Glenn, this is like one of the, you're not involved with them in any way, right? This is like one of the only companies.
With them, I am not.
Yeah.
Free on that one.
Free on that one. So I think it's really cool what they're doing. I think there's lots of possibility. I myself didn't get interested. I already have, and everybody tries to make it seem like I'm being like I don't know what the word is, like I'm being like an elitist saying I'm not interested. I have 2 Stern pinball machines, but I have physical pinball machines already.
I think the word is snob.
Snob, yes, snob. You know, I have physical pinball machines already. I don't need to recreate the feel of what a real one is because I have a real one. I don't know a better way to. I don't know a better way to say it. I'm just not interested.
I'm the opposite. I don't have any. I would have liked, but they're very expensive. I don't have the room either. I really am enjoying VPin, and I'm really, really enjoying VPin now with the X Arcade and the haptics kit. Absolutely. I'm like, Carl and I talk about this, and I've been saying it a while for myself, is as soon as they make it like the golf game, we can invite your friends in to the virtual pinball, I will never leave. That's the matrix for me. I'll just sit in there and I'll play and have my friends to talk about in there, and I'll have a great time. Now, as far as Wonderland Amusements, the machine, I think it's neat. I think it definitely has a market for it. The big question is, with the tinier balls, unfortunately, it is tiny balls, how will the physics work, with the game? That's probably the only issue I could potentially see. I assume that they have, worked out the level of the playing field with the size of the ball and everything. I don't think it's a bad thing to have someone in the market doing something like that. It breeds competition, which I think is great. The people running it, there's some good minds in the company that are working on the machine. So let's have to wait and see. Until again, it's going to have to wait until someone actually gets a machine and plays it to make that determination. But I will say this more than anything: there are 8 billion people in this world. 7 billion can hate it. 1 billion can love it. 1 billion people is a pretty damn big market to have. Right. So that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Really quickly, this one's for Mo because I know he's a fellow wrestling fan. MG here is shitting on wrestling. No one cares about wrestling. Geez, that's not true. I actually watched a wrestling pay-per-view in VR with my buddy MG. And I think I'm going to say this wrong, but I think it was Tanahashi came out on the AEW pay-per-view. And MG fell in love. He was like, oh my God, who's that guy with the lovely hair?
Were we watching in big screen?
Yeah, we were watching a big screen.
Yeah.
Naughty, not Naughty List. Meatball Saucy. If you ever connect with Meatball Saucy, sometimes he'll watch like the WWE pay-per-views.
Oh,
in an AEW pay-per-view and big screen. You should get together with us when we do that. That's fun.
I turn on the Oculus 3. I turn the MetaQuest 3 when AEW pay-per-views come out because I don't want to be paying $55 for pay-per-views.
I know.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, I can sit here and watch it in VR. Yeah, you got it, bro. Let me just let me go in the drawer real quick and grab the battery charger and plug it up, and we're good. Yeah.
You got to tell me how to do that. Like, we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah.
But regarding Wonderland, man, I'm excited for this cabinet. I have been since day one. I didn't end up backing it. I backed it. I backed them for a deck of cards, not for the device. I'm excited that they're looking at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle version because that would be more appealing to me. I initially backed this not because I was necessarily a fan of Alice in Wonderland, but I'm a fan of home arcades, and I wanted them to be successful. And once they had well over their needed the number for the backing of the Kickstarter, I bailed out, but still supported them because I want them to come to market with this. This is something, again, similar to Iconic. This is something they have never created, and it's not on the market. And so I think that once this comes to market, it changes the dynamics of that market forever. Now, whether they'll be successful and whether other people will copy and maybe they get better, maybe even if we got to a $2,000 cabinet, that's really great to play. I think it changes the game for physical pinball going forward when it comes to market. So I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to coming. I'm looking forward to the first person getting in their hands and playing it and seeing how that works. And like all products, we know it's gonna. These initial people are guinea pigs, right? This is a first, and so it's going to improve and get better as we go, like any product would be. So I'm excited for how this is going to change the physical pinball market. For sure.
And what Nate put in the chat, for what it is, it's beautiful. I mean, it's eye catching. I mean, it looks nice. So just comes out to how it plays.
So now is the perfect time to once again talk about how B-Kong convinced Carl to cancel his early bird pre-order for the cheaper version so B-Kong could scoop up that pre-order. So we will always remember that. Be the thief.
And I'm excited for B-Kong. If he gets it, I'll be watching the video as soon as it comes out.
Carl, you were covering this Wonderland Pinball so heavy, I almost kickstarted this thing. Mm-hmm. And then literally the next day, I'm watching live stream, so I was thinking about it and I was weighing the options, and I'm canceling the pre-order, but I got the cards, and I was like, really? I was like, no, bro, this close, man.
And a lot of people were in the same boat with that. Again, Wonderland, I still run the fan group for it. You know what I mean? That's still there.
Whoa, you're telling me there's a fan group out there that isn't controlled by Glenn? Hogwash. I don't believe it.
Carl may disappear one day. Carl's going to go with the fishes one day.
I think there's two out there, so I'm not sure who's over the second one.
This is available, unlike Glenn's Kickstarter, where we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with that when the product comes out. This is currently available to pre-order. Alice Goes to Wonderland Pinball. If you missed out on the Kickstarter, you can buy it now. It's coming in at the very steep price of $1,200. Again, it is real, pinball, a little bit smaller in the 80% scale, but $1,200, man. What do you guys think of these new home arcade prices? Like I mentioned with Glenn, like I mentioned with Unico, they're doing something that's almost commercial grade, but we start getting to, $900, $1,000 for Iconic Arcades. We get to $1,200 for Alice Goes to Wonderland Pinball. Like, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
It's definitely not a bad thing for certain, because what's the alternative? What's the alternative to those things that you just mentioned? If you talk about the mega-cades or whatever you want to call those things are typically $2,000 plus. They're mammoth, they're hideous. You know what I mean? They look nothing like their real thing. When you talk about Iconic Arcade, when you talk about the pinball, obviously there's nothing to compare this to. So you can't. So you can only compare it to either a virtual V pen like Glenn was talking about, or a real arcade, and both of those things are extremely expensive. So this is a niche area here that they can, if they're successful with this. So I don't think that price is still super fair, even if it was slightly higher than that. But again, they're trying to get into a very niche market, and I hope they're successful with that.
And the worry again, because it still has a computer in it, it still has memory in it. I mean, that's the big concern right now. That's been the past 2 or 3 years now. The big problem. Every time we're trying to do something, you got a tariff coming in. You have taxes going up. Now you have memory shortages. There's not much more the community can take to keep these stuff coming out at a halfway decent price. This can easily become $2,000 between shipping, tariffs, and RAM prices being limited.
And at least for the next 2.5 years, that's a possibility with Trump in that time frame.
Really, realistically speaking, they're just Wonderland's driving in their own lane. So essentially, they're trying to dictate the price in the market. So they could literally be like, well, this is $1,400, and if people want it bad enough, they'll get it. But they're fighting uphill because for almost double that amount, a little bit more, you can go pick up a entry level Stern pinball from like Costco or Sam's Club and whatever else, you know. And the other side of that coin is it's not V-Pen, so you're comparing it to real pinball because it's supposed to emulate one. So the ramps and the shots and things of that nature, you know, it becomes limited, and you can kind of see the limitations of the table. I think B did a really good video like a couple months ago covering that table and the potential of shots and whatever else that you can do on it. So 1,200 is fair. It's better than at Games TMNT. I said it. Hey, listen, ad game haters, I don't care, bro. You know how much crap I bought from ad games. But it's a step in the right direction. But it's just get your first step out before you try to take the next one. Don't speculate on foosball tables and other tables if you haven't put your first product out. That should be business 101.
And Glenn, I know you have some time restraints tonight as well, but I know you.
I'm okay. I'm actually okay right now. My team was hitting me up, and I was messaging them, so we're good.
Okay.
I texted Glenn the other day, and I was like, "Hey, Glenn, can you be on the show Friday?" And he was like, I'm really busy. I was on the phone with China all morning." And I was like, "The whole country?" And he was like, "Yep, all 2 billion people."
That's a long call for sure.
Well, you know what I want this thing to come out and launch right, so I'm finding little things I want to change, and my team wants to murder me because, like, Glenn, we got to stop. I'm like, I'll stop as soon as you do this last thing, and they do it, and I go, and this too, like, you son of a bitch. But I think I'm done now. I think I got everything I wanted, and we're working on there. But let's talk about X Arcade and this awesome kit that we designed for them.
So you were part of this, hey, Glenn? I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah, our team, yes.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough. I think some other YouTubers were as well. I think Papa Bragg got a test kit early. I don't know who else did. I know that a couple other guys have now, Chaotic BPR and Gamer Fridge. And Glenn, you have one as well. I'm just so happy people are finally getting to experience this, especially if they really like playing Pinball FX VR and like playing it with the tank stick. The haptic feedback kick, what a difference it makes. Like it blew my mind when At Games added their surround sound feedback kit to the At Games Legends Pinball 4K. I was like, this is so cool. I got the same experience and maybe a little bit more from this haptic feedback kit. It is so cool. Like the rumble from the game coming in, the feeling, and people are like, oh, I'm going to turn off the solenoids for the flippers.
No.
You must hate real pinball, man. That's what real pinball is like. Every time
it makes such a difference. I mean, the install wasn't horrible. But the good part is the templates are there, even the bits are there. It took me about an hour, and Michael probably took a week. It took me an hour to put in. But it really adds the experience on another level. Like I said, just put people in VR, Pinball FX shit, and you are playing a real machine. And it feels good to have a real plunger. It feels good when you hit the flippers. You can feel it. It feels good when the ball gets knocked around. It's good to hit the machine. Remember, it's got an accelerometer. You can hit the machine now, and the ball will follow you hitting it. First time to hit buttons to do it. It's just a totally different experience. I get if people didn't play real pinball, they don't care. But anyone who's played a real pinball machine, it makes such a difference.
Yeah, now I have the the kit. Now they did send me the base for my review free of charge. I did purchase this separately, and I'm still waiting for mine to come. They said it'd be in January. I'm looking forward to it. I can say I have VPN as well, like you do, Glenn, and I love that VPN. Even on the Toy Shock, even at the small screen, I've not even did anything with this at games, which I could literally just take everything out of that little machine and put it in this bigger box and do the exact thing. But it's perfectly fine as it is, and size for me doesn't matter because I enjoy playing it. But I tell you, since I've had the VR experience here, that's the only way I've been playing primarily is playing in that. And I enjoy that because you have the physical, just right now without the haptics, just the physical touch of the cabinet while you're seeing it, and it looks like you're actually there in this lonely, empty, isolated. Hello, um, arcade. I definitely love that thing for sure. So I am excited. I was a day one purchase. I think I ordered on the show when we, there's a few things I do. I order around the show. As soon as I hear about it and it's happening, I don't want to miss out. That was definitely one for that, and I'm looking forward to getting this installed next month or this month, I guess.
What about you, Moat? Have you delved into the Pinball FX VR through your MetaQuest headset? Have you played that much?
I've tested it out with the X Arcade. I do not have the haptic kit yet, so haven't been able to touch it. But after you get it all set up and stuff, it's really good.
So good.
After you get it set up. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Hopefully they're selling this kit pre-installed. I think that would be a good step for them instead of just selling it separate because, yeah, it might be a little daunting for some people.
They send you the drill bits, Moat. It's so
It's there.
easy. Yeah.
There's a little template that you literally tape right on, and you just make those little holes and you drill through. It's not difficult. I mean, if you can work with a direct set of Legos, it goes right in. And the video that my team did for it, step by step, very easily done.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying me. Oh, I'm not worried about it. I meant for Joe Schmo who can barely hold a Phillips. You know what I mean?
That's like Michael B. He did it.
He's talking about me. He's talking about me.
Oh, well.
And it's funny.
No, I didn't, Glenn. They sent me. They sent me a unit already installed.
Well, there you go then.
And when you talk about the tools, this is what's funny about where we are in our society. I was looking at this post on Facebook with Sloan, the guy that makes the miniature pinball machines.
Scott, yes.
Scott Sloan, yeah. And he was talking about adding this Bluetooth to the numbskull cabinets.
Space Invaders.
Yeah, Space Invaders. And they were talking about adding this thing on there. And this one guy, Stephen, I think his name was, it was much easier for him to 3D print a whole new door for the back of his numbskull than to take a drill bit and drill a hole through the existing door to plug the thing in. You know what I mean? Because that's a tool that he's more comfortable with as opposed to a drill bit. You know what I mean? So I mean that's just a reality for what's available today. For some people, they're using different tools than what we use. And for him,
some girls have the vibrator, some girls call me over.
Right.
So it just depends which way you want to go.
For sure.
So guys, we're gonna switch gears here now. So I'm so excited because how many people have ordered these things in 2025 and now 2026 is here. We're getting around the time soon we're going to be able to experience them. So that's exciting. I'm excited to finally see people tell me what they think of like Wonderland. Glenn, I can't wait for your GRS Build-a-cade FU to come out.
Same here. Know what's going to happen though? What's next? As soon as I get in the hands, what's next?
What's next?
We're going to get these things. What's next?
Well, I'm going to be the first one to say to you what next. I'm going to be like, hey, when's the dual stick controller coming out? Hey, when's the Donkey Kong controller coming out? Hey, when are you doing the Tron
I've been beating my team up over the X Arcade Viper. I know you're looking forward to that. And that's very soon. It should be announced.
And Glenn, I always have to say this because this is just amazing. I had bought the Build-a-cade, the regular size, not the FU one, and it's set under. I have boxes of stuff that's at different levels, and I had that thing sitting under my at games, and for at least a year, maybe 2 years, I can't remember now. And I finally put that thing together, and I'm like, this is so amazing that you're able to get such quality parts into this little tiny package. And my first thought was like,
I've been telling it to ladies for years.
right.
I've been telling it to ladies for years.
If you could just make this bigger, and they've said
That's what she said. Damn, Carl, man, you were listening to my girlfriend? What's going on?
I said, if you could make a full-size cabinet with these same type of quality of parts and make this such easy to be able to put together, how amazing that would be. And then along came the FU. But it was obvious at the time when I put that thing together. I was like, this thing has to be a kit that's big enough for people to enjoy. And she said that.
I'm telling you, I want to see Mrs. Kong stand inside that thing and see that doesn't break. I want Mrs. Kong and Kong's in there.
So really quickly, Glenn, I can see it in the background of your video. Just give me 1 quick second, okay? I want to bring this up because this is a product I've been working on the last couple of days. I'm trying to get a review out, but I had a lot of trouble getting the dongle connected. But I do want to give you guys so much friggin' credit for this thing. This New Wave Toys Golden Tee control deck. I mean, when you hear Glenn talk about, like, I want to give people quality, you hear Shiloh talk about it. It's not fluff. Like, honestly, man, this thing is so high quality. For the people that have that New Wave Toys pre-order in for the, Replicade and then this deck, or if you're going to get the plug and play, what a stark difference in quality between what you're used to from home arcade and what this is. This thing is beefy. It's heavy. Look how, like, what is this? This is a full inch.
That's what she said. Yeah.
That's a full inch MDF, like super solid.
This thing's heavy. Oh, man, you can work out with this thing.
Heavy. So on top of that, like this sticker, there's no deck protector, but the sticker is high grade. Like there's no deck protector because you don't need it. The difference with the buttons, like you can feel it immediately. This is not like the same crappy buttons they put into an arcade one-up. And the trackball is fantastic. And then real T molding. Like you guys killed it with this. I mean, this is why I get excited and I harass Shiloh about making, like, bigger arcades, because if we can get this quality, and man, with the prices the way they are now, New Wave Toys, I'll pay you like $1,200 if you can, or $1,500 if you can make stuff with this quality on a larger scale. Holy shit. I also love this idea for these controllers. I think this is a really cool idea, and I can't wait to see more of these, maybe with a Tron stick, maybe more of these. I love the art. I'm giving away too much from my review, but
that's okay.
Keep
talking, brother.
I'm fascinated with it, and this is not shilling. It's the truth. Look,
this was a really nicely done job, and when people getting the Golden Tee Replicade, this is basically what you're going to have without the technology built into this. But this is what New Wave Toys does. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened, but they build really good stuff.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
Wow.
And it's too heavy for I got to put it over here. It's crushing me. It's too heavy.
It is really heavy. That's the first thing I took it out, and I was like, the hell is this? It's too good.
And it's fun just playing in your lap. It's wireless. Sit on the couch. Just play it in the couch.
Well, it's not the first time I've sat on the couch and played with my balls all night.
Well, I like replaying my ball, so it's fine.
All right, guys. So moving on, talking about a company that did not go in that direction, actually regressing so much more. We got a surprise Arcade 1-Up announcement from Elite Gaming News on Twitter. He actually shared this. He came across this post. Oh my God, here we go. I was talking to B. Kirby about this earlier, about my battery charging and dongle issue. And he said, I have 3 New Wave Toys Golden Tee plug and play. Definitely recommend it. And I said, oh, can I ask why 3? So he has 1 for his home, 1 for his summer home, and then 1 for his shop. So good job.
Nice.
Thank you for the $5 super chat, B. Kirby. What the fuck is this? And I'm sorry for swearing and being rude, but
that's a 7-inch screen, right?
No, it's a 7-inch 16:9 screen.
So it's 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 inches. So $150. We get a new NBA Jam Countercade coming out from Arcade 1-Up. I would assume that this is, the old administration, probably one of their last products that were okayed before the acquisition. Again, huge shout out to Moat for being the first out of the gate with that story on YouTube. So thank you very much. What do you think of this, guys? Like, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, this looks like Basic Fun, their design." This, in my opinion, this is 100% old administration and 100% a product of the way that company went. I mean, Glenn, you've been saying for years that this company doesn't put forward experience as the top thing, and this product certainly shows it. I mean, the 16:9 screen in this with a 5.5-inch playable
This is something,
area is just,
Mike. This is something you bought to give your 5 or 7-year-old kid. You go, here you go, keep them entertained. You like basketball, and you give it to them.
yeah.
That's what it is.
This literally looks like the old one-player TMNT cab that they put out, just reskinned with a different board. I mean, but batteries. I mean, the batteries, I guess.
Well, that's the exciting part. I wanted to share this with Carl. Carl, finally a countercade that takes batteries, brother.
No, it's not take batteries. It should include a battery.
Bro, dude, why do they have screw hole covers on a countercade? Like, I'm looking at it and they're
because you're gonna have to open it to replace that screen and fix it.
Oh my god! And you know what's crazy? Everybody's gonna go buy it too. That's the funny thing about it, dude. Everybody's gonna go buy this.
Probably.
At least if they made those screw hole covers look like little basketballs, at least it would look decent.
Right. It's all.
And they're raised, right? 3D.
Yeah, it looks like it's going through puberty. Like, legit, they look like it's crazy.
Yeah. Again, I'm not a fan of. I'm glad they have it battery operated, but I'm not a fan of AA or AAA, whatever the batteries are. It should be a rechargeable USB-C rechargeable battery. But yeah, Arcade One Up clearly is a clear distinction when they started from the basic and started going up and elevating. I think when we got to the KI Pro, and then they went down, started going downhill from there, regressing to go the opposite direction of where they were heading. So it's unfortunate. But again, if these were sitting in Costco or Sam's Club, they're going to sell. They're going to sell. I'm assuming because it's a one-player thing here, it's still going to have online and you can play against somebody.
No online.
No online.
No online.
Not for $149, it ain't. They don't want for that.
Well, it should for $149. They should have.
Yeah,
they should have. The board they use kind of a little Wi-Fi chip on there. That's what they're using, before.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no reason why it shouldn't. I initially was not a fan of countercades. It's just because of space. Like I'm like Glenn. It's like space as a premium. But I love my Galaga as a full mod with Glenn's 4-way to 8-way auto changer. Man, that thing is freaking awesome. And I have a Miss Pac-Man. And Miss Pac-Man, obviously I can play anything that's on Miss Pac-Man on the Galaga one. So there's no need for me to have two of them. And I think that's what I'm going to give my brother for giving me the Dreamcast. Because it was a trade, not having negotiated that yet.
So the funny thing about this is I see this is on Kohl's.com. So for all you people who went holiday shopping and you have Kohl's cash laying around, dude, you can probably get this for $25. And in that instance, dude, grab it. $25. Yeah, knock yourself out.
Well, it's Sam's or Costco, wherever it is, it's going to go on sale for $99 and $89 relatively soon.
Clearance by the end of the month.
Yeah.
So according to Mike Hawk-Hertz, who is All Elite, this one is $149.99, currently available at Kohl's and Walmart.ca. Oh, Walmart.com. I keep getting confused about that. So Walmart and Kohl's in the States, online orders only.
Wi-Fi, hold on a second. Just can you highlight Nate's comment real fast? Wi-Fi would kill batteries. So what does this take? AA's? I'm assuming it's AA's because it's
4 AA batteries. Yep, not included.
So I'm gonna get a whole 1.5 games out of a $20 pair of Duracell Extreme bat. Stop.
And it doesn't have a plug, right? It's only battery.
No, you do have an option of using a USB. I think it's USB-C cable, USB. Or battery powered, your choice.
It's just crazy because why would you put a USB cable in to get power but not spend like $15 and put a rechargeable battery in it?
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
Yeah,
y'all act like Microsoft out here, man. Like, find out y'all got to deal with Duracell.
For me, for me, like, it's a low price, and I'm sure people are going to be able to get it even cheaper, but it's just sad. And I guess some people, like, for me, this has been going downhill ever since they took the direction with the Slimcades, and it's probably been going downhill ever since. Arcade 1-Up were in a strategy point where there was no money, there was no ability to do new things, and they just kept dumping water out of the boat to try to stay afloat. And they just kept making things cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, redoing the same games over and over, but shittier versions, slimmer versions, now with shittier screens. And here's the thing, I understand that the 4x3, either IPS or even TN monitors are more expensive. So you want to go with 16:9 screens because they're more readily available for shipping and they're cheaper, but there's better ways to do it. You could have hid most of that 16:9 screen. You could have went even with a larger screen and, made the playable area bigger. Like, it's not only being cheap, but also being stupid and not caring about the player experience. That just makes me so disappointed with this company and what it came to in the end.
But they did care about the player experience. They cared about the one room apartment people who live in New York with no space, and were like, hey, this is what you guys want. You guys can play with John Stockton and Karl Malone sitting next to your PC. They thought about that audience, the same audience that they would put Slimcades out for. That's who they thought about.
You want to think about that audience, you do something like this, because this is good value for the money, right around the same price point, and just absolutely badass. And then you compare it to that crap that you've got there on the screen. What a world of difference.
Chad, I did not know we were in a sponsor segment. Not know. Oh shoot! But no,
there's just better ways to do stuff, right?
And apparently Robert's going to have a review Friday, so yeah.
I can foreshadow it now.
Yeah.
19K Fox, I don't understand. 19K Fox actually was a very big Countercade fan at one point, if I do remember correctly. I got a feeling no matter how good this thing is, it's going to be a bad review for Arcade 1-Up. I don't know why he bought it.
Maybe a cold cash
for the lulz. Yeah, exactly. Just free money to spend.
Yeah. Anyways, it's just really disappointing, and I'm hoping now with Basic Fun taking over that, we're gonna stop seeing this degradation of these products. Like, this went from, this really cool concept that, like Carl said, kept getting better. Like, they were trying to match the shapes, they were going with better screens, they were adding online, to this absolute landslide the last couple of years of trying to keep the company afloat. Hopefully, Basic Fun have more love for the users, want to make sure the experience is better, listen to feedback, and don't do shit like this. That's my hope going forward.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think Basic Fun, it says in the name, it's going to be Basic Fun.
Yep.
It's going to be the cheapest option.
Good sturdy plastic, Mike. Good sturdy plastic.
Bro. Yeah. Basic, literally, like Starbucks drinking, Uggs wearing. Basic.
Yeah, I think they're going for.
No, that's Folgers, man. No Starbucks, Folgers.
They're going for the My Arcade, marketplace, as opposed to the FU marketplace. So,
I don't think they're trying to compare with commercial grade quality items like FU, but I hope we at least go back a couple of years with Arcade 1-Up where they were making cool stuff. Like, I don't have a lot of interest in buying a lot of stuff from these companies, so I'm really looking forward to some cool shit. I don't know if we'll ever get it, but I'm hearing like, oh, we care, we're doing things. I'm like, okay, show me a Gorf, show me a Tapper, show me a Sinister. That's the kind of stuff I want to see now. So they're going to come out with their Tekkens, and they're going to come out with their Mortal Kombats and stuff like that.
You think they could recoup some of that NBA Jam money with that joystick making a Sinistar?
Yeah. You mean the NFL Blitz, right?
NFL Blitz. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, last but not least, I did want to bring this up. Pre-order went up for a new product if it ever comes up. Oh my God, what is going on here? Nova Blast.
That's what
Nova
she
Blast U3 Raiden. Here we go. Raiden pre-order, $100 off right now. What do you think of this? Like, the reason why I brought this up, because Mode, I think you know a lot more than I do about candy cabs. I'm not that familiar with candy cabs. I'm familiar with the Sega Astro City because, you know, back when they were doing the mini ones, Sega sent me one and I kind of fell in love with that. But I'm not, you know, that was never part of my arcade history or anything like that. Have you seen branded candy cabs? Is this a thing?
No, I do not recall seeing branded candy cabs. They're usually just CRTs or shells with like a swappable thing for the marquee, you know, with a little split platform. This is a first that I can remember. You know, usually it's just you sit down and you go play, and it's usually a board swapper or whatever else. But this is different.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Just different.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on. Hey, Fox, you can't silence me, brother. There is not enough money you can pay me to make me be quiet.
Well, but try.
There is.
Hey, but try.
You can try.
So I've heard a lot of people, you know, throw out some feedback. They love the black look. Again, I've never seen a black candy cab either. I've only seen the white candy cabs. Moat, you can correct me on that. They've always been white, haven't they?
They have, unless they're like really stained yellow, like bad Super Nintendo and stuff. Yeah, I've never seen a black one.
And the reality is, Michael, you may not be aware of this. Once you go black, you never go back. So
I wasn't aware of that, girl. So anyways, I think it's interesting. You know, Unico are always into the really super niche stuff. It's funny because I talk about these home arcade companies and I'm like, you know, do the deep cuts, do Gorf, do Sinister, but then Unico does it and I'm like, might be a little bit too deep, guys. I don't know how much of an audience there is out for this.
Me personally, I'm not a candy cab style fan. I didn't play them in the arcades. It's not my thing, but there are definitely fans for it, though. They're diehards for candy cabs.
Yeah, I love a good,
and it looks nice.
Personally, yeah, I love one personally, but I think the idea for the novelty's there. If you're literally going to order this and literally leave it ride in and ride into and not do anything to it, and you want shmups, yeah, this is probably perfect for you. But for me, if I want a candy cab, I don't want this. The powder coated black is cool, whatever, but I don't want this. I'd rather just get a basic U2. Or a U4, probably a U2 because it's more conventional. You know what I mean? And then I could throw a board in it, or I can maybe throw a pie or something like that if I was that serious. But I think the extra cost that they're adding just for the licensed games, I don't think it's worth it. You know, you have to do screen orientation, all that other stuff, and it's branded, so then you got to fix all that. So, I mean,
it's two things that comes into mind here. Again, this is not something in my wheelhouse. I'm not familiar with these things. I have no experience with them. This kind of falls in the same line with the iArcade for me. It's like when I think of arcades, this is not what I see, right?
Yeah.
So the barrier that you have to overcome to try and attract it to me. The other thing that I think Unico has an advantage over the competitors is because you're usually sticking it somewhere where it don't need to be. And so when you have a simple,
that's what she said.
Thank you, Mike. That was killing me.
when you have a basic coloring scheme like this, then it looks better in the living room or the family room, as opposed to once you start doing that branding, then that thing's going to stand out more. So I think it hurts your market. I think it hurts your company by trying to do that. I don't think there's enough people that's going to like a Raiden for that to justify that. But I think the simple, I think going to black, I think that makes it disappear into the background a little more. So I think that's definitely where they should go. But I would just keep it basic black or basic white if it was me, because now you can appease the wife as well in having this be able to sit somewhere in somewhere that she didn't want.
Now, if they did,
to begin with,
Carl, just saying, if they took the bottom of that and put a dishwasher in there, then the wives can have a fun time with it. You can have the gaming on the top and the dishwashing machine for the women on the bottom.
The following comments are brought to you. The following comments are made by Glenn Planamento and Glenn Planamento alone, and do not reflect the views and opinions of anybody else on this show at this current point in time.
What the hell? I absolutely have been in love with this thing ever since it was introduced. It's going to cost me well over $2,000 Canadian to get it here. By the time I pay the 1169 with shipping. Exchange. plus $400 shipping, then
Exactly.
plus tax and duty. I'm probably at about $2,500. That's why I'm so hesitant, haven't pulled the gun yet, but I love it. I love the 26-inch screen. And I will tell you my foray into picking up my Capcom Big Blue and going out and buying these extra arcade boards has made it worse, because now I'm like, what am I going to do with these extra arcade boards? I can put them in the Unico Nova Blast. So, and I'm not the biggest fighting game guy, but some people say if you were going to play arcade fighting games, you want to play them on a candy cab, sitting down on a chair. Moat, do you have a Vulix or a Chulix? You've got like a sit down fighter, right?
I have a custom Vulix. Yeah.
So I mean, like you can attest to that. I mean, that's like, if you want to play fighters, this is apparently the way to play them.
Yeah, and so literally, I was thinking about ordering this. Robert Fox is in the chat. He'll tell you I bought his CPS2 X-Men versus Street Fighter so I could put it in this Unico. And I was just like, well, do I buy it or do I just try to save a little bit more money and then just buy a candy cab? That's kind of the line I'm flirting with right now, because honestly, I would go the U2. I'm 6'3.5". I don't need the stupid stools. But yeah, for that reason, like, it's appealing. I just don't understand the appeal for the U4 or the Raiden cabinet. And they know it's not going to do well because they have it batched at 100, the first 100. So, I mean, that should tell you all you kind of really need to know about this. But and I want to see the Pro monitor that they're supposed to be putting in that thing. So I mean, it's wait and see, I guess. I don't know. It's just the shipping too. It's a lot.
I always say you should never consider the shipping, because that's outside the company's control. If you like the product, you have to get it. You can't worry about the shipping. That's outside the control. It'd be nice if shipping was like it used to be pre-COVID, but it is what it is.
As someone who buys $1,000 statues and the shipping ends up being like $400 for one of those, yeah, no, that shipping counts. And that's domestic. Oh no, that shipping counts for sure.
And for the people who may not be aware, all these costs that they're talking about here, that's with just a floor weight, because it doesn't do anything by itself.
Correct.
Unlike the FU and any other products we're talking about that ships to you and you can play it instantly. This is just a shell and a monitor and the controls, and then you have to put the brains, the computer, CPU in it to actually have it to actually do something. So that's another barrier for entry for people who may not be experienced. And you got to have that technical side of it to be able to get this thing functional and operational. So that's another thing that acts as a barrier to people.
Yeah, the one thing I will give them credit about is that their encoder boards do take consoles. They do work with PC and whatever else. So you can literally just throw anything in there, which is a good thing. But, you know, to do JAMA, you got to do a little bit of work. You know what I mean? So whatever you're trying to do, just know you have to go into where the Raiden cabinet comes preloaded. So I think that's a extra $100 for a step that you don't have to take. So maybe for some people that's appealing. You know,
I think like a lot of people, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, well, the extra money for the Raiden cab, that's for the branding. It's not just for the branding and licensing. They are doing something they don't do with the normal Nova Blast. They're putting a brain in it. There's some other artwork stuff too. So you got to take those costs into consideration. This, I know people are saying, man, that's so expensive for, what you could do with an X Arcade. You're not wrong. You can put your X Arcade down so it works more like a candy cab and use it on a Megacade. No problem there. But I think you're forgetting, again, like what I talked about when you're talking about Glenn's Build-a-cade FU and you're talking about this Nova Blast. This is a whole different ballgame. We're not talking about recreation arcade stuff here. Right. This is basically commercial gear you're getting at a very discounted price. So I'm such a big fan of this. Glenn, I will put it out to you. Figure out if you can get me a GRS Build-a-cade FU in Canada, if you can ship it to me, how much it's going to cost me.
I'll figure that out.
Because if not, I'm going to spend this money soon.
I was looking, though, and the Nova Blast has a coin door. Is that a real coin door or is that a fake?
Yeah.
Coin door?
It's functional. It's functional. So it's literally commercial grade. Like
those tariffs are gone, buddy. Yeah,
they are
gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about Mike. Okay.
But yeah, their Time Riff Arcade has one in their arcade. They put a video out and it has Ninja baseball, whatever the hell, I forget that stupid game.
Ninja Baseball Batman.
Yeah, that one. But yeah, they've got a video. It is commercial grade and it's survived the test of time. So you can charge people to play this. Make your money back 1 quarter or equivalent of quarter, whatever you guys use up there.
And Glenn, before you start thinking about mess with your team in China about a coin door, that always can be a add-on.
Oh, it's there. It's already there, Glenn.
Wait,
Yep.
Kyle.
do people do y'all in the chat? Do y'all use y'all coin doors? Because I put my machine. I have coin doors, and my machines are on free play. I'm not trying to go in Coke bottles and pull out quarters and stuff. You know?
Oh no,
Well,
mine has quarters.
There's
Mine
a
has
button on
quarters.
top where you can put in, you're dropping coins, but I wanted it to be, it can go in either or. You know, you got the real locks on there, you got the real coin doors in there, put in tokens, whatever you want.
No, mine that I have real coin doors on it, they only take quarters. There's no free.
Okay. I know you do because you have like a pile of quarters. So I know yours do, but I mean like just a regular person in chat or whatever else. Like,
But when we go to Aldi, people leave a cart. My wife's like, just leave that cart there for somebody else.
Somebody else.
Quarter,
No,
that's a quarter for my arcade.
Yo, you're that guy, Carl. You're that guy. Like, I'm gonna walk this cart 12 feet and lock it in.
Right.
Well, my thing was I didn't want to. I know people put fake coin doors on because they want to look. I didn't want to put fake. If I'm going to put something there, I wanted it to be real. You don't have to use it, but I didn't want no fake light up plasticky coin door. I wanted a real deal.
Yeah, because yours is almost a real machine. I mean, you might as.
It's an almost real machine, Moat. It's a real machine.
You know what I mean? Oh my gosh! You know what I mean. You know what I mean?
I do want to talk about one other thing. One other thing that Glenn, I've been hard on you about with both your GRS Build-a-cade and the Build-a-cade FU is I don't like the shape of your arcade. I've always said this, and
Do you like the shape, Mike? Do you like the shape?
Yes, obviously that shape is very appealing, but I don't love the shape. But somebody has come up with this new concept for the Build-a-cade, the small one, that I'm absolutely in love with. That was you. These new press-on side panels.
Yep, I actually
with,
have one.
Burger Time and stuff like that. It is
hold on.
Brilliant. Not a sponsored show, but yet I'm still gonna grease his wheels here. Sorry, guys.
But it's relevant why we got them. I mean, that's pretty sweet. The 3D print that.
So we're going to be making. This is again. My time is. I'm all over the map with all different things. So this is something I've always had on, and I know you always said this. So these are literally slide on sides. Just go to the machine, put it on, line it up. Press it on, and now you got Burger Time. We're working on other ones as well. I think right now we already have the Donkey Kong. So if you don't want to use the bat wings, we have Donkey Kong Jr., all those sides. We're working on a few others right now. Talking to my team, he's going to hate me about this too, but making a 1/6 scale yoke. So we could do a true Star Wars cab and do a 3D printed, thing on there. So that's the thing about the Build-a-cade FU, and the regular one is, I know this, and again, this was mostly because of Mike as well. Like it can look like anything, but this is just a proof. You could take these, print them yourself, or PCB Way, Joe Sabo's. You could do these, print them. You can see it's got the inlet of the shape.
Yeah,
and you just literally put it on, clips in. Now you got a Burger Time, and actually, I did it right before I got the $99 numbskull one, but now I have two. So
yeah.
So Glenn, what you should do, right? Take that idea and rip off this plate, and then put a magnet on the back of it so you can stick side art on the walls as well. Like
that's the other thing I thought about. But what I ultimately want to do, and I've talked about it a million times, what I want to do is, as soon as the OLED gets cheap enough, and they're cuttable now. They make a cuttable OLED. I want these sides to be in an OLED. So as you pick your game, your marquee changes and the whole side change. That's my ultimate goal before I die, is to have sides you clip on. It's a screen. It's got a pogo pegs on there, and you're good to go. That's my ultimate goal.
So, Glenn, here's a $1 million question here now. So, is it possible where like the Build-a-cade FU, like you're pretty open with the design, are you going to be able to work with people, maybe like a Buy Stuff or a GI Joel or something like that, to offer different side plates that you can use for your Build-a-cade? Like if somebody wanted to, like, say, get a Build-a-cade FU, but they wanted it to be a Burger Time and they wanted like a different shape.
Robotron per se?
Yes.
So first of all, I've always worked with the Buy Stuff store with great relationship. but I've been talking a lot also with G.I. Joel, and we both decided we want to work together. So I would say most likely yes. Someone I'm sure will. And again, we're going to have all the dimensions freely available for people to do things like that. So the answer, Mike, is yes.
I also want to give a special shout out to my good friend MG, who sends along a warm message to you, Glenn. Never going to happen, Glenn. You ain't got that long left, buddy.
I probably don't. Not the way I eat and everything else. I probably don't. But
I think he's talking about the OLED side panels.
Oh, no. You know what? Again, I see a lot of things from companies on the back end and stuff that's coming out. They already make LCD or LEDs like this. You can literally cut it. You can cut it to shape, and it still works. So I'm betting in the next 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
And then you can put on the FU, put it on the Build-a-cade, put on your stuff. You're just going to cut it to the shape, slap it on, program it in, and as you go through the game, as the out-link screen changes, all that art changes everywhere. Now, I don't know how inexpensive it's going to be initially, but that's the ultimate goal. You have a multi-cade that literally becomes the arcade Tron, Star Wars, Mr. Do, Scramble, Rally X, games that no one's going to make. Now you have it just by picking the menu, and it changes.
I'll still find a way to complain. Yeah, but it doesn't look like a cocktail cap, Glenn. It doesn't look like what is it?
One of the items that's on my list, and I'm not even drinking, which is surprising. I'm talking this much. I do want a cocktail table as well in the lineup. So that's in my works with the rotating screen. No.
All right, guys. I told Glenn we were going to try to stick to an hour tonight, and I didn't take many topics, so I thought we would get there. But like always, I love being here. I love talking to people online. So this has been fun. Before we go and before Carl takes us home, I do want to say thank you again to Glenn and Mike for making yourself guys available tonight when these people are out. I got to tell you, Mike, you've been a delight to stream with. I would love to have you back sometime if you'd be interested. And I think people here enjoyed it as well.
I'm just me, but sure.
All right.
Yeah, wait. I'm trying not to be offended the way he said that. He's like, "You've been a delight to stream with." I'm like, am I bad or something? I'm like, wait, hold on.
No. I just meant I enjoyed it.
No. Yeah. No, understood. No, I appreciate that, and thanks for having me and stuff. I mean, like it was fun.
Excellent, Glenn. You're always good to have on. Thank you very much as well.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thanks for the ask.
Your time available.
To be honest, when you asked, I was turning it down, but when Carl reached out, I'm like, all right, I got to do it.
I know. No one wrote me back at first. I was like, I got to get Carl to ask.
Yeah, but and I echo that, guys. You guys both know you guys are definitely favorites of mine. I appreciate you. I stand by you guys. Whatever efforts you guys do, to me, it's about relationship, is about community, and we just all happen to enjoy some very similar things, man. And if you can't be civil and have great conversations, whether you agree or disagree, it's okay either way. But you have to be civil, and it was definitely a great show. I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you guys as well. Again, we think we're a huge community. I mean, we're probably tens of thousands, but we're still not millions. And we pretty much know almost everyone out there. And just enjoy. Not everyone's going to like what other people like, but let them enjoy what they like.
Yeah, it's 2026, man. Be the change, bro. Y'all don't have to be negative, man. Just have some fun with whatever y'all are doing.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yep. Everyone's opinion matters, but again, if you disagree with someone, they have their opinion too. Just respect it. That's all.
I agree.
And
buy guys,
before I let Carl close it out,
website up.
Before I let Carl close it out, I do want to remind people you've got Gallagher Guy 88 and Burger Time Babe. They've got a show going on right after this, so go check them out. Carl, take us away, brother.
All right, guys, man. Happy New Year. We are thankful for another year. We're glad you guys tuned in. And until next time, we'll see you on the web.
I'm trying to
in 5 minutes, Mike will end it.
I'm trying to remember where the outro is. The outro's gone.
I did this already. It's now moot.
The outro's gone. Hold on, there it is.